ESPN's Jeremy Fowler and Tim McManus dropped an interesting article regarding the Philadelphia Eagles offense last season. And a lot of fingers are pointing at Jalen Hurts and his stubbornness. Me and Steve are going to talk about it and break that down. And to end today's episode, we're going to break down another NFL prospect, this time Penn State's edge rusher, Dani Dennis-Sutton, and let y'all know how we feeling about him. But before we talk about it and break it all down, you already know, you got to hear the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, football fans? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby, joined by Steve-O. So if you're tuned in and love talking football, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Steve-O, they blaming it all on Jalen Hurts.
As they always do.
But hey, ESPN's Tim McManus and Jeremy Fowler released an article on ESPN. It is a lengthy article, so we're only going to go through just a couple portions from this article. But if you're interested in reading the article in its entirety, that article is called Inside Eagles 2025 Friction at Jalen Hurts Stands at Crossroads. Crazy work, right? Yeah. But it's a long article with multiple anonymous sources. And one of the things that I took from it, Steve-O, these guys said this. He, meaning Jalen Hurts, has pushed back on changes that would diversify the scheme, sources said, including when it comes to him going under center more. He has shown a reluctance to let it rip at times, particularly against zone coverage. He diverts from the game plan and changes play calls to what some feel is at an excessive degree. His strong preferences, coupled with the coach's efforts to play to his strength, which includes his deep ball accuracy and throws to the perimeter, limit the breadth to which the offense can expand, or at least that's the way it has gone in the past. First, just dissect the anonymous source with that quote, bro.
I mean, he ain't completely off kilter with some of the stuff he says because it's evident in some aspects. In certain aspects, he does have a delay in his letting it rip when other times he does, and a lot of those times is just under center and drop back situations. But also I don't think it's the changing of the game plan. I think that's a little bit somewhat misleading because, to me, majority of this blame came from the former OC, which we all knew, regardless of who the quarterback was, who was out there, we knew with the talent that they had and the team that they have, he was out there running vanilla plays. And a lot of people wanted to say, oh, it's because of Jalen Hurts. People soon forgot that Kellen Moore is down. That's his name, correct, for the Saints head coach, was the offensive coordinator before. We didn't hear no problems then. And it was a big blend of throwing the ball and running.
Facts.
So to me, it's the common denominator is the OC, in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. I still think some of the things that were said are to blame in Jalen Hurts' case. There is some times where he could be a better thrower of the football. That deep ball accuracy is a thing. That's an issue that he needs to touch on. But and he does struggle in zone in some aspects. But I'm not gonna. The way this whole article made it seem is like it's completely on Jalen Hurts. He's not willing to adjust, which I just feel like is bullshit because we've seen him just adjust multiple times from Alabama to Oklahoma to now.
I think that's a fair point. And when you talk about adjustment, the man has had a different offensive coordinator every single year of his football career dating back to college. That is a lot of adjusting, literally, because you're going to get guys that you're going to get a lot of guys that come in with some concepts that are similar, but they're going to want to do their thing their own ways. Me and you, Steve-O, we talk about football all the time on this channel, and we break down number of things when it comes to play calling. Shout out to Coach T. Miss you out here in the content world,
bro.
brother. How do you tell the story when calling plays? It's one of the things I learned from you and Coach T. It's just one of the things. How do you tell the story? Because I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but I got to bring it up. I'm watching the old Chicago Bears game that just took place this past season. In the first quarter, Ben Johnson calls a screen to the left side. Luther Burden catches it. He goes up the field for a first down. With the game on the line, give you the same look from the first quarter. Caleb Williams pumps fake to Luther Burden. Guess what the end result is? We ain't going to Luther, though. We going to DJ Moore up the sideline for a touchdown to ice this game. So offensive coordinator is definitely, how do you tell the story? And I'm going to go out there and agree with you right off bat. Jalen Hurts wasn't the only problem. And because there's some more interesting stuff that's coming from this article, Steve-O, and that's that Jalen Hurts expressed poor body language, not always bought in, not the most coachable, and players took notice. That was some of the words from another anonymous source. How do you respond to that?
It's going to show when you don't believe it's in. It's very hard for anybody to have poise, body control, sense when one. I know nothing up until the last 3 years. I know nothing but success. I've been to the Super Bowl twice. I'm a Super Bowl winner. I'm constantly in the playoffs. Like, at the end of the day, regardless of all the things that you think the flaws of Jalen Hurts, he know what's good and he know what's bad. He know what's mediocre and he know what's good. He know what it's when the defense is figuring us out, or because that's quite frankly what was the biggest problem of this whole offense. It was predictable. There's nothing you could do if you're predictable because you're playing against the best defenses in the world, against the best defensive coordinators in the world, the best teachers in the world. So the stuff they throw out there, they've been seeing for 20 years. They was out there running vanilla college plays.
Facts.
So, yeah, you're going to show poor body language. And, yeah, as a quarterback, you're not supposed to show body language. You're supposed to be a statue and unhuman and a robot. But that's just not realistic because we can list a ton of quarterbacks that's not Jalen Hurts that exhibits poor body language, and they be winning. So, like, to me, like, that whole body language shit, like, you bring it up when it's like, okay, it's a reoccurring thing. It's something we are seeing season after season. It's the first time we've seen him really have negative body language. And if it is, it was towards his wide receiver. We already know that or the whole ordeal. So, like, I mean, like I said, I think we both on the same accord. Like, it's everybody's fault. It's not just one person's. It's some things Jalen Hurts needs to work on, but to me, if you watch the schematics of football and how they was playing football versus how they was playing the year before, the common denominator was the OC, because the OC that left went to a lesser team and damn near gave you the same type of performance.
And helped the rookie quarterback be able to grow within the season. Yep. Tyler Shough, when we talk about more there. And I agree with you.
We get shot tonight.
And I agree with you, Steve-O, because like I get it. Poor body language is a thing. You never really want to see it with a quarterback who has to be the leader of a team. But you can't tell me that if I came to Steve-O and be like, I'm a financial advisor, bro. He'd be like, I bet I'm gonna start my investment off with $1,000. And Steve-O, in 2 days, I lose $500. You're gonna be like, all right, motherfucker, hold on.
Fuck as you do.
And then I come back and be like, don't worry, bro. The market about to dip. We about to eat. And then I come back and say, hey, bro, we only got $200 left in the chamber. You gonna look at me sideways like, is you good at your job or not? Exactly. So that's how they gonna look at this motherfucker and say, hey, bro, we got Saquon back here, but you treating him like we just pulled up a flag football player to come play running back. No,
exactly.
Let's run this ball. Look, and I agree with you. When it comes to everybody had a part in the dysfunction of the offense. That goes from head coach Sirianni, Like, bro, you hired this guy.
Definitely.
Then you go to the OC. You don't even want to tell the correct story when calling the plays. We finally seen the offensive line of the Eagles not be up to that elite level to the point nobody went into the owners' annual meetings trying to ban the tush push this year.
Because it's beatable.
Nobody. And we got plenty of clips of guys giving up on their routes. Everybody had their hand in that. And that was a perfect way to put it, Steve-O, for real. Because
That's my thing. It to me is just another example of another organization that's just coddled and been, they know nothing but being successful.
Yeah.
So the slightest bit of dysfunction, they're. I hope. I mean, it's still a boat that could be saved at the end of the day. Like it got a crack in it, but you could patch that shit up. But like that's my whole thing. Like it's too many. It's too panicky for me over there. For what they still got. Yeah, your O-line deteriorating, but you can still plug and put some things just like you doing for this defense, but you need to plug and do some things for this defense as well. But everybody should be up to a higher standard at the end of the day.
I agree with you on that, bro. And it's crazy this article is coming out now. And but all those anonymous people, man, put your name on it. I
don't even know why they do that shit. I don't even know why we even entertain anonymous sources. But
cause man, for this conversation, it's just like, bro, how can y'all sit there and just blame one person? Like we ain't have somebody on the sideline reading books.
But you know, it's the quarterback.
On, bro.
It's the quarterback. You know, the quarterback always gonna get the blame at the end of the day.
For real. And last point, like when you came and said about Jalen Hurts adapted, I think it's valid to say he's willing to adapt. The offense the engine was Saquon. And then when it was time for him to go win the chip, he went and got the chip. That's all that matter. He's willing to adapt, but we got to call OC how we call it. OC wasn't good enough.
You had a Ferrari, you took that engine out, you put a goddamn Buick engine in that motherfucker and expected to do the same performance.
On the real, that bitch shaking down the E-way. Yeah.
Oh, blah.
Oh, the real. But hey, let us know y'all thoughts on the Jalen Hurts stuff. How do y'all feel about the entire situation? Was it just Jalen Hurts, or do you believe it was everybody? Y'all know where me and Steve-O stand with it. Let us know your thoughts below. Now, before we get up out of here, we want to continue to talk about some draft prospects. This time, we want to talk about edge Dani Dennis-Sutton, edge rusher out of Penn State. Steve-O comes in at 6'6", 256 pounds, ran a 4.63 40-yard dash, and had a 1.63 10-yard split. Throughout his collegiate career, very productive. Last year with Penn State, 42 total tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks. Year prior, 13 tackles for loss, 42 total tackles, 8.5 sacks again. What did you like about Dani Dennis-Sutton out of Penn State, bro?
Well, grown man already got grown man body straight out of college, so he a legitimate 6'6", 250, long arms. I like how he jolts out the backfield. Like he kind of has like this choppiness about him that's kind of unorthodox. He uses his arms to up and arm to clear the inside a lot, which is good. He also got a pretty decent move set. Like he got a nice little smooth inside spin, which is really shows himself when necessarily he ain't getting the penetration that he want. But let's say the running back comes around the edge, he'll spin off that and go get the quarterback or go get the running back. He's real good on like getting off the block in certain situations when he reading it coming off the edge. So he pretty good at that. Pretty powerful like block technique when it comes to like just his straight on attack. His pull shed technique is pretty on point. Contact is always heavy and he always stay in the fight. Probably my favorite thing about him is his hustle. Like regardless if he necessarily don't get his first move or second move right, he gonna fight till the whistle's over with. So it's if you watch a lot of his highlight tapes, it's a lot of chase downs. It's a lot of him coming off side block, side things where the play might look dead at the initial, but he bro got an extra gear, and that's one thing you always can't teach. And for somebody to be of his size to have that extra gear, I like.
I agree with you on a lot of what you said. I think that one of the most, like when I first turned it on, how does he snap off the ball?
Mm-hmm.
Power. Then he plays with fire. I love football players that play with a lot of fire and that can bring a lot of fight to a pass rush. And I think that he's solid in the pass rush department. And to your point, you want to give guys with a motor an edge. And a lot of the times when you look at him play, you love what he could bring to the football field. Now there's some things that I think that he can improve on, and I think that's pad level, but I think that's a lot of college
Definitely,
players
yeah.
personally. Like when it comes to like if they're not considered a top 10 edge, a lot of the times, even with some of them, you're gonna have to go out there and make some corrections on that coaching department. You want to definitely see because you don't really get to see a lot of him doing a lot of run stuffing stuff.
Yeah,
At least when I seen it. So y'all wonder how he is more so in the run game. But if you out there getting 12 tackles for loss and 13 tackles for loss, that means you can do something. So I'm
definitely.
interested in that. What are some things that you think that he can improve in?
Like you said, pad level. His bend could be better, but
Okay.
that's kind of like like I'll too much kill edges for bends because you kind of got to be a freak ass motherfucker. Like
Yeah, everybody can't be Von Miller
everybody ain't
about
that
that
damn
edge, bro.
flexible. Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
ain't Von Miller. So, but it's decent. Like he shrinks in the pocket just a little bit. His counters is a little slow. Like I will say that. Like there's a lot of times like if he go up against a tackle with some good hands and he's able to jam him up, like his counter is slightly a little slow. So if he going up against a running back that see that hole, that motherfucker gone. So he
Yeah.
need to work on that. And I say outside of that, he kind of his ranginess is a little bit. He kind of misses open runners sometimes. So that's about it.
For sure. Now some mock drafts got him.
And I will say this: this is a big thing. He got a lot of roughing the passer penalties. Roughing,
Oof.
he need to cut down on that shit.
Absolutely, because that can cost you big time games in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk, big time games in the NFL. Now, some mock drafts have him going early second, maybe creeping up into the first. Where would you project that he goes? I haven't projected like a late first, early second, me personally. But there's one player that we gonna have to talk about. But nonetheless, how you feel about him and his draft projections?
I'm leaning. I'm leaning just strictly on that late second, just a little bit. I think he can sneak. I mean, if anything, that combine helped. Like he did get almost a 40-inch vertical. His broad jump was a 10-11. His like you said, his split was a 1.63, which is crazy. So he got like some good athleticism to him, and plus the size. So I think that can possibly push him up for sure. And he had his final year was pretty good. 42 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks. It just cut down on them. You cut down on them damn penalties, you probably would have been a first round pick. But he
For
who's to
real.
say that he won't? Depending on who needs what, he might be a first round pick.
For sure. Some people said that he could potentially like like ESPN got him dropping to the fourth, Bleacher Report to the third. That's how you know it's just all speculation when it comes to these guys. Cause some teams they blow smoke into the rumor mill and just see if somebody gonna bite on it or something like that. So it's gonna be interesting to see it. But hey man, you got anything left?
No, good prospect though. I ain't
You
even look
already
at him
know.
for real.
Yeah, I like what he can bring, man. He bring a lot of fire. Definitely some interesting stuff
Mhm.
about him. So hey, that's it from us today, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of NFL Central. Before y'all get up out of here, let us know how y'all feeling about the Eagles topic and how y'all feeling about pass rusher Dani Dennis-Sutton out of Penn State. Definitely go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe and join the NFL Central family. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you always love football. And y'all already know we're going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace.
Peace.
This has